We start off Impact this week with Dixie Carter coming out to the ring to try to tell her side of the story. But Christopher Daniels and Kazarian come down to the ring, and basically all Daniels is doing is berating her about that clip, that phone call that they played between her and AJ Styles. And they continue to berate her. And then AJ comes down to the ring doesn't come down to save the day. And clears out Kazarian and Daniels. Then finally, you see Dixie Carter's husband Serge comes into the ring. And he pulls up Dixie. And then he punches out AJ. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not surprised by this, because, I mean, if Dixie Carter were my wife and AJ Styles were fooling around with her, I'd want to punch him out too. That's about the gist of this opening segment. Okay, then the first real match of the night was Crimson, the undefeated Crimson, whose undefeated streak now stands at 468 days. Wow. And he's going up against the greatest man who ever lived, the X Division champion, A-Double himself, Austin Aries. He had a little incident in the back with Samoa Joe and Aries, and I think just basically talking about disrespect, if nothing else. But Crimson ends up winning the match. He stays undefeated, thanks to a bit of interference by Samoa Joe, knocking Aries off the apron. And basically what this does is set up a match between Samoa Joe and Aries at Slammiversary on Sunday. And I think this could possibly be one of the matches that actually has the possibility of stealing the show. And also, as Crimson goes back to the backstage area, he says he can't be beaten and won't be beaten, this blah 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 blah, and he puts out an open challenge for Slammiversary. So be careful what you wish for, pal, because you just may get it. And then you have a backstage segment with Brooke Hogan in the Knockouts locker room, talking with Velvet Sky, Brooke Tessmacher, Tara, and Mickie James, talking about getting the Knockouts, like, opportunities outside of wrestling. And the first instance of this is that she gets Velvet Sky a video shoot with Montgomery Gentry. That didn't seem to sit too well with Mickie James, so could there be a heel turn in the works for Mickie James? I personally would like this, actually, because, I mean, if nothing else, this could get the Knockouts division more over than it already is with the TNA viewers on television. So I would be in favor of this. Well, then you get Hulk Hogan come down in the ring, brother. He's announcing a world title match for next week, dude. Doesn't matter who the champion is, whether it be Bobby Roode or if it's Sting, whoever wins the match. And that brings Robert Roode down to the ring, and he's talking about how Hogan's disrespected him in recent weeks, and he's basically trying to push him around, this, that, you know. I like the interaction between Roode and Hogan. It had some kind of a good reality type feel to it, you know. And then finally it brings out Sting, and Roode starts beating on the Stinger for a little bit, and then Sting finally, he gets the upper hand, he clears the ring of him. It's like, God, they're kind of bugging this though, kind of backwards, aren't they? I mean, normally the face is the one that's trying to get over on the heel, but God, it almost looks like WWE's booking this crap. I mean, seriously. And like I've said, I'm a big of a mark for Sting as anybody, but God, they're booking this all wrong. Okay, then you have a 4-way knockout match for the #1 contendership to Gail Kim's knockout title at Slammiversary on Sunday. Gail Kim appears on the stage and she ends up sitting on commentary with Mike Tenay and Taz. There's a nice four-way move in this match where Tara had a Boston Crab on Velvet Sky, and then Mickie James put looked like a Dragon Sleeper on the Tara, and then Brooke Tessmacher puts a headlock on Mickie. I like that. That was pretty good. Tessmacher ends up winning to defeat Mickie James. So Tessmacher is the new #1 contender. God, they're making you think that Tessmacher might have a shot at this just because she's beaten her 3 times in a row on Impact. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Tessmacher go over at Slammiversary, but I'd almost like to think Gail Kim's still going to win somehow, but it wouldn't surprise me either way if Tessmacher goes over. Then they show Hulk Hogan backstage talking to AJ Styles, who had left the Impact Zone after the opening segment with Dixie Carter. Tells him he more or less just needs to get back to the Impact Zone because he's in the main event, and about all there is to this segment. Nothing real major. And then you have the 1 hour main event segment, which is the Bully Ray versus Joseph Park contract signing. Well, Bully Ray gets the original contract. He rips up the original contract, then brings out a new contract saying that he's not liable for anything that he does to Joseph Park in this match. Joseph Park is really reluctant to sign this contract because he's an attorney, not a fighter. This blah blah blah. And finally, Bully Ray goads him into signing it. Then once Joseph Park signs the contract, you see Abyss in a pre-tape on the TNA Tron or whatever they call it on the big screen. Basically tells them both that he will be at Slammiversary, so that could be interesting. And then at the end of the segment, Bully Ray nails Joseph Park from behind, and it's kind of typical what you would see at a contract signing. Something always happens, and it never goes off without a hitch. But I'll take no talent piece of the monkey crap for $400, Alex. And the answer is Garrett Bischoff and Robbie E. And the question is, who are 2 wrestlers on the TNA roster that don't deserve TV time? Well, you got it, folks. You got a television title match between Devon with 1 piece of monkey crap, Garrett Bischoff in his corner, against the biggest piece of monkey crap of all time, Robbie fucking E, with that overgrown monkey Robbie T in his corner. Oh my God. What is this incessant push with Robbie E in the fucking television title? I mean, seriously. Oh my God. If they fucking make a tag team match of this at Slammiversary between Devon and Garrett and Robbie E and Robbie T, I will fucking riot. Oh my God. This incessant push of Robbie E getting television time has got to fucking stop, and it's got to fucking stop now. I'm just venting here, but you know what I'm saying. Well, to the match itself, Devon wins after getting a small package reversed, which was originally reversed by Robbie T, and so Devon wins, as he should, because Robbie E doesn't fucking deserve to be on television, and neither does Garrett Bischoff. And what the hell was Madison Rayne doing on the ramp anyway, besides playing her lip gloss? It's like, what the hell kind of purpose does she have in this segment anyway? Next. Well, then you got the Hulkster setting up another match at Slammiversary. It'd be a triple threat match for the #1 contendership between Jeff Hardy, Mr. Anderson, and RVD. And basically what Hogan was going to announce is that the winner of that match will face the world champion at next week's Impact, whoever it may be, for the world title. That's basically what that announcement was all about that Hogan couldn't get to earlier. And then you come up to the main event, which is Sting, AJ Styles, and Kurt Angle against Robert Roode, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian. Well, for most of this match, it was really a glorified handicap match because AJ doesn't show up right away. It's basically Sting and Kurt Angle. But AJ ends up showing up towards the end of the match. And Robert Roode ends up tapping to Sting's Scorpion Deathlock for the second week in a row. So Sting and Angle and Styles end up winning the match. But really, TNA, and gosh, boy, that's something to make your world champion look weak right before one of your biggest pay-per-views, isn't it? I mean, I'm guessing Roode's still going to go over at Slammiversary by hook or by crook, but this is no way to give your world champion momentum going into Slammiversary, one of your big pay-per-views in TNA. Just don't get it. I mean, normally you want the face to get over on the heel, and not the other way around. That's booking 101, people. Okay, my final thoughts on the show. I thought the Crimson Aries match was okay. It could have lasted a little longer, but if nothing else, it set up the match between Joe and Aries at Summerversary, which could possibly be a show stealer. And then that knockout segment where Velvet gets the radio shoot, and Mickey doesn't. So maybe a heel turn in the works. I'm not sure, but I'm certainly looking that way. Then the interaction between Roode and Hogan was really good, I thought. Then Tessmacher going over in the knockout match, becoming number one contender. I could see her actually going over at Slammiversary, but I expect Gail Kim to. The contract signing with Bully Ray and Joseph Park, and Abyss is going to show up at Slammiversary. That ought to be interesting. It's like, then hopefully there's not a tag team match between Devon and Garrett Bischoff and Robbie E and Robbie T. Then the Joey Ryan segment, that could be interesting. That could be an interesting angle with him and Al Snow and Taz. And then the three-way match between Hardy and Anderson and RVD, that could be all right. Roode Sting match, I think Roode's actually going to go over. And then the tag team match between Styles and Angle against Kazarian and Daniels, that could be a really good match itself too. So, but anyway, let me know what you thought down below. This is Marvelous Mark signing off from the Off the Rope Show. Since 2010, we've been entertaining ourselves while you watch us. Good night, everybody.